Welcome to the Squad Games Podcast. Squad Games Podcast.
I'm so disappointed that you don't get 2 tacos in the Munchie meal anymore. And that it raised the price. Like, I get it, it's going to go up in price, but it's like a lot and you get less. That brownie was like, maybe not exaggerating, about like this size.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
It was very sad.
Yeah, the Munchie meal from Taco Bell. No, Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box.
Taco Bell has the build your box.
Was a real big fan. Not anymore.
No, big. And you know what? The first clue I should have taken to not buying them anymore was when they no longer had all the weird foods. Like when they had like this bacon wrapped cheddar chicken thing. I don't know what it was called. Mm-hmm. But like they had like stoner food. And then they were like, no, it's just going to be our regular menu.
Yeah, I have to go back to ordering 4 tacos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did you know if you do the app, you can get them $1 for 2 tacos? I don't know how much they are in store normally. Just a fun fact if you use the app.
I did not know that.
But anyways, we're not talking about Jack in the Box all day. We're talking about other things because this is the Squad Games Podcast. You know us. You're watching us. And if you don't know us, we like to talk about tabletop stuff. We do a lot of Kill Team. And we do a lot about our tournaments. So let's start it off. What are we talking about today?
Well, first things first, we are going to be streaming the World Championship of Warhammer.
Yes.
This is coming out on Tuesday. So in 2 days, we're going to be on Twitch, which is going to be linked below. You can tune in to our live coverage of the Warhammer World Championships of Warhammer.
There you go.
And yeah, it's a little bit hard to
it's a tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister. Luckily, we were invited by Games Workshop to come and stream everything. I will be playing, so I will not be on stream unless if I come over to play. I'll try to get at least 1 game on stream. And I think Giacomo and Sai are going to be casting it.
That's correct.
So it's going to be a lot of fun, going to be pretty cool. And today we're going to tell you a little bit about our streaming process, kind of my process to get to Worlds, what it took to get there, if you're trying to get there as well. And, we're going to talk about the World Championships and a little bit more about some larger events coming up in the future.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But right now, let's quickly take a look at something special
that
we just made. This shirt, this 3+ save shirt.
Indeed.
Whoa.
Indeed. Striking Scorpions need it.
Let's say it one more time. 3+ save shirt.
3+ save shirt. I think we lost followers because we talked about it so much, but it is something that we do. This will also be linked in the description. We did make a couple t-shirts. If you guys want to grab one and help us go to Worlds, because Games Workshop is paying us nothing to get there. It is coming fully out of pocket, 3 plane tickets and a 5-day stay in Atlanta. It's been quite expensive.
Now we're doing this all for the viewers out there who love Kill Team and for the love of the game. So
yeah.
If you love these shirts or if you want to maybe buy one, consider doing so. They're right there. Link in the description.
And if you don't like Striking Scorpions, then don't buy one.
You don't have
to. That's all the same too. But yeah, so now that we got that out of the way, and also don't forget to buy your tickets to LVO. We're at 96 sold.
LVO.
So that's a lot. That's a lot. And they just updated the narrative tickets. So they gave us 8 more narrative tickets.
Wow, that a total of 24 players.
24 players. So because of that, it might sell out. So if you're looking to go play more of a narrative style, grab your tickets from down below as well. But yeah, so we're going to talk about some World stuff. It's interesting. I chose to play Deathcore.
A bold choice.
I swear something that's really, really annoying to me is I'm going to Worlds with a bunch of sweaty nerds. Hopefully they put on deodorant. I'm going with a bunch of sweaty nerds. Okay, seriously. I got there because I was sweaty, right? But
that was in 2nd edition.
That was in 2nd edition, and the edition has changed. I think I got there by going to Salt Lake City, and I won a 14-person event there. I think I went 6-0. Won best painted, best overall. Won the trip to go to Worlds. What is the World Championship of Warhammer? The World Championship of Warhammer is essentially, as a TO, you have to submit a form to Games Workshop saying, this is why my event deserves to be a golden ticket. And they award the Willy Wonka golden tickets to each individual tournament, right? And from there, the winning player, however you want to decide it goes, gets to go, gets the invitation to go to the Warhammer World Championships of Warhammer. Goodness gracious. I think
WCW it is.
WCW. You get to go to WCW, which is really cool. And I think we've ran 7. We've given away 7 golden tickets. This is our 3rd year running events.
Have given away 7. Wow.
Yeah. And last year it was our 2nd year running events, and we got 0. Well, that's a lie. We got one from LVO and 1 from SoCal Open, but those have been running for years. So something that's important to Games Workshop is an event that has multiple game systems and or has multiple years underneath its belt and has proven itself to be a competitive tournament. So the All Valley Team Tournament this year was our 3rd year going strong, and we had 66 players. And we gave out 3 golden tickets because an entire team got to go to Worlds, right? And in fact, pretty much all of Kel Team, outside of like a couple of members, like their entire tournament squad, won golden tickets this year because
Purple Wave,
yeah, Purple Wave, yeah, it's crazy, it's crazy. And they're one of our Southern California's and the West Coast's most competitive gaming group.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah,
yeah,
and. Essentially, you have to win an event specifically that has one of these things or play to the metric of what they're giving their golden ticket away for.
Right.
And that's how you get to go. It was a surprise this year when, the rumors were flying around that the edition was going to change anyways, but it was a surprise with some of the things that did change, right? I didn't really want to change a team because I built a really large display board. Mm-hmm. I built a fantastic team. And in fact, I have a Veteran Guards team. Are they over here?
That's somewhere in.
I have a Veteran Guards team that is not Games Workshop tournament legal. Different tournaments require different things.
Yes.
So a Games Workshop tournament requires their teams to be WYSIWYG, which is what you see is what you get. Right. So they have to be WYSIWYG and they have to be actual Games Workshop models, no 3D printed parts.
Yes.
Unless if you model them and 3D print them yourself. For instance, I have a lot of MDF terrain. I have a lot of stuff like that. So I could, let's say, make an MDF board, make all the MDF, all the SVGs, and put it on a display board, and it would be very legal. But 3D sculpting is a little out of my wheelhouse. I've done very few pieces of it. So I really went in and I really made sure that my team was 100% Games Workshop legal. I spent like $90 or $80 on just different Cadian boxes. I kit bashed every single one. There's not a single one that comes from a single box. And then my leader is this model here, which I painted a little bit of her on stream.
On stream, that's right.
Yeah. So this is my Severina Rain. I'm sorry you can't see her too much, but she's a very pretty model. I think I did a pretty good job on her.
I think you did a good job too.
So what I've been doing is I realized that Veteran Guard are not really competitive.
They don't have that wow ability.
Not currently.
No.
I think that Veteran Guard can take games off of top players and top teams. I think that is possible, right? Because I'm playing, if you're a fan of League of Legends or football or any other kind of sports, there's a thing called comfort level of play. So you can choose to follow the meta and really just gravitate towards the strongest teams, and you maybe fail because you are chasing the meta.
Right.
But for me, I decided to go more of a comfort pick. Do I want to go and learn Legionary?
Right. Suddenly?
Do I want to learn Warp Coven and melt my brain and then possibly lose because I forgot a ploy? You know, it's already difficult enough to relearn Veteran Guard with all their changes and stuff. Like for the past few weeks, we've been streaming on Patreon. We've been streaming on Twitch, and I consistently get some of the rules wrong on Veteran Guard because they change so much.
Right.
right? Like in one of my games, I did a full move with my spotter.
Oops.
And I blasted, right? And I was like, wow, this guy's awesome. I did it like 3 times.
And then we checked later.
And we kept playing and we were looking at it and everyone's like, yeah, that guy's so good. I was like, yeah, wow, he's great. It's like, yeah, well, he can only dash.
Yep.
Right. And the thing is like learning the game is, so as a content creator, we make content.
Yep.
We paint, I have a family, I have work, and I have to prepare for Worlds. So for me, was it more important to sit down and cut one of those things? Do I want to cut family time? Not really. Do I want to cut work time? Nope, can't. Do I want to cut content? No. So really my choice is to stick with a team that I'm already comfortable with, that I know I can perform well on, and I know kind of like the functionality of the team, which makes me a dangerous threat no matter what,
right.
Even if the team is not great.
Yeah.
We're going to go through some of the statistics of what teams are playing what, but I think that's something to consider if you go to an event or you're going to your local game store. Are you just going to practice? Are you trying to get better at a team? Because I have probably like over 100 games with Veteran Guard.
Right. So you understand how they would play.
Yeah. So kind of figuring out how the new team works is very different, because my old strategies definitely do not translate to this edition.
Yeah, because they can't. Second edition it's different from third.
I would be shocked if I'm not better at the end of Worlds than I am just going straight into Worlds, because it is 10 games, right? It's 6 games, so it's 3 games on Friday, 3-hour rounds each, which I'm very happy that Games Workshop listened to the community's feedback.
Yeah, 4 was wild.
Because last year they had 4-hour rounds. They had I think a day that they played 4 or 5 games. They played from like 8 a.m. till like 2 in the morning, like 2 players. It was crazy. They're not doing that this year.
Nope. So
we're doing 3 rounds on Thursday, which we will be streaming, 3 rounds on Friday, 2 rounds on Saturday, and 2 rounds on Sunday.
Yep.
And I'm guarantee you I'm going to be better from day to day, because I'm just going to continually learn, try out new things, get better with the team, because ultimately I realize I'm probably not going to get out of the groups. Like if anyone was a betting man, right? I'm very much the underdog. Okay. We'll go through my pod, but I'm very much the underdog. There's 7 elite players in my team, in my pod. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult, especially with how strong elites are. But it's not impossible. I think there is play. I almost beat James Robinson. I almost beat a few of these other people. I almost tied Jason Steinke on his Warp Coven.
It's true. Yeah.
I got close. So if he didn't heal 16 wounds.
Yeah, that's always the problem.
I would have beat him.
It's like you're playing against
But I also moved 6 inches and blasted his guys. And
it didn't do much. I saw that move and it was just like, well,
it was cool.
It was a good move.
It was cool.
It was a good move. Very good move. Wish it did more.
No. Yeah. Nah. So I think there's definitely some things to be said, is like when you are watching our stream or you're watching later on YouTube when we post the tournament, do realize that a lot of the players, even though they're the top of the game, they are going to still have some mistakes, because the edition is still relatively new. I have found that this edition, to me, feels like, I would say it almost feels more complicated than the last edition.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
I'm having a harder time grasping some of the rules comparatively, because in the last edition, you could just, I'm going to climb. I have like 9 inches of movement. I can move and dash and climb. Well, you can't in this one.
That's right. It's separate.
It's like move is different. Okay. There's like universal equipment. It's like more simplified, but more complicated, especially at the higher levels of play. That's how I feel. Whether that's how I feel later on, I don't know, but like trying to get used to this edition and trying to like, because we got some of the rules early from Games Workshop, but it wasn't, me and Giacomo didn't have a ton of time to play to play or learn, because we were like, oh, we got to make content, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to gain YouTube subscribers.
And EVTT was around the corner.
All Valley Team Tournament was like literally like a week away, right? So it's like, well, we got the box, but we can't do much with it. So let's both sit down and try and paint a model, get on Warhammer Community, which luckily we did. We painted well enough with Cell and Velvet Cupcakes.
Yes.
Aquilions. You guys can check those out on our Instagram. But it's been a rather difficult road for me particularly, because a lot of people come to me about rules. Mm-hmm. We've already ran a rather large tournament. Again, we're making more and more content. We're trying to do a bunch of stuff. So it's been a hard road to get, I think, the rules down as much as I would want to as a top level competitive player. Because I had 3 years to hone the skills.
Yeah, for Betcard back.
And I was bad. Edition. I was bad for year 1. Year 2, I came in. I did some good stuff. Year 3, I came in, did some more good stuff.
Yep. And then they got reset.
Yeah.
And you'll do it again. It'll reset again in the 4th edition.
You're right.
It'll be great.
But also, getting to Worlds is a problem, right? So, again, Games Workshops isn't helping us get there.
Right. You just have access to the event.
We've chosen to go ourselves because it's way too big of an opportunity
not to do.
Right. It would be disingenuous of us to be for them to give us the opportunity and then just be we can't afford it. We're going to have to one way or another. Right. I really want to do it. Saya does, Giacomo does, and we really want to try and bring our stream and what we can do and share it with the Kill Team community and the Kill Team world, right? There will be another stream there, but they will be a Spanish stream. So if you speak Spanish, you're more comfortable with Spanish, go watch theirs. Great couple of guys. And you can even pop back and forth because we're going to be streaming different games more than likely.
Yep.
Right. So, getting there, I think we have 6 checked bags.
It's quite a lot. We are literally taking the max amount of stuff you can take.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have 6 checked bags, which is, difficult to get there and stuff like that too. And I think it's rather exciting no matter what for us to be there, go there and do this because we love kilting.
Yes, we do.
No matter the state of the game, the meta, nothing. And it's really fun to go to an event that is just the celebration of competitive gaming. Yeah. Right. Because that is what
that's what Worlds is.
That's what World is. Yeah. Worlds is. Games Workshop has really made it the competitive pinnacle for golden ticket winners. But they are also celebrating just Warhammer itself with the great narrative event there.
Yep.
We've gotten a lot of great sneak peeks behind the scenes of what they have there, and it's absolutely fantastic. It is crazy. We can't really go into a lot of it here, but we can afterwards about all the stuff they included. Saya is going to be going around
doing her blog, getting that ready for us at Squad Games.
Doing a vlog, going there, taking pictures of everything that's going on. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth with things that we're not supposed to talk about the narrative, but the narrative is pretty much just worth going alone. It is an expensive ticket. It's $400 for a ticket. Right. But if you think about it, they're using that capital to do all the extra stuff. The competitive people get to go for free.
Right. They had to earn it.
Well, they have to fly in and hotel.
Well, they still pay for all their expenses.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they don't have a ticket price. So they probably should have a ticket price. If I won a golden ticket and it was still $30 to go, I'd still pay it.
Sure, yeah. That's nothing compared to what it is.
Yeah,
if you're already committed to getting a room and stuff.
Yeah, and it just helps pay for the space. I understand. I'm a tournament organizer. Maybe others don't, right? But I think the World Championships of Warhammer is going to be a lot of fun. And also there's going to be really big people there, right? We're going to have possible rules writers for Kill Team there, the developers. You're going to have Games Workshop staff. You're going to have the Games Workshop TOs. You're going to have the top level competitors. There's a bunch of content creators that won golden tickets that are going too.
I think it's like a majority of them.
Yeah, we have Can You Roll a Crit, who's an awesome guy. We have Shane. There's a bunch of Spaniards. We have Ryan Slater from Turning Point Tactics. And if there's, I'm sure there's plenty more, right? Super exciting to see these guys and girls and go and, have a great time. There's a bunch of people from Australia. And one of the other funny things about Worlds is I understand that everyone's going to win. Well, the meta is kind of broken. So,
yeah, it's skewed in one side.
So like last year, we had Alexa win Worlds. He had the best look at the meta. He found out that Colts was the most busted team. It did not get crushed by Orcs. He played the best, and he won the World Championship with 42 players. Yeah. Maybe 48. It's between there. And this year we have 93. I think they gave out 112 golden tickets, and 93 players traveled across the world
to make it.
Now, my question is, are they going to have a ringer like they did last year? Last year, there was one player who played who did not earn a golden ticket, but to Games Workshop, it's more important that every person that goes doesn't have a buy round than it is that they have a golden ticket.
I hope so, because if not, that's kind of boring. And you're there for
if I get a buy round because Death Guard,
they're just bad.
Death Force suck, I'm going to be sad,
Right. So you want to do something. You're already there.
I want to play all 10 games. We complained that there was only going to be 8 games. Now we have 10. I'm very happy.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so for me, what I focused on is that since I kind of know the team, I really wanted to up the level of my paint job on my models. They were already really nice. Today I did I did a really large graffiti on my cityscape, right? And then I got to add a bunch of trash and debris and you're
going to be working right up to the end.
I sure am. And I also have to update our stream.
Yep.
Our stream is going to get a little bit of an overhaul for Worlds. We're adding a new starting screen. Going to be adding another new screen where you can see all the players, you can see the casters, and you can see the Twitch chat, right? So since we are Twitch affiliates, we cannot stream on both YouTube and Twitch. So if you do want to catch it at any point in the time, that we have 3 rounds of 3 hours. So we're going to be streaming for 9 to 12 hours on Thursday, 9 to 12 hours on Friday.
It will be 12 hours. We're doing the whole way. We never stop.
6 to 8 hours on Saturday and Sunday. So please come in and help the algorithm by typing little messages and being like, "Oh, look, I'm here!" And if you guys want to give us an Amazon Prime, that'd be cool too.
A sub he's referring to.
Yeah, Amazon Prime sub. If you have,
I think it's called that. I don't know.
But I added little Space Marine emotes.
There you go.
Because I'm learning Twitch. I'm learning things.
It's a new avenue.
It is. But yeah, I mean, we're really excited and we're really pushing forward and trying to make this the best experience for everything.
Your phone's good enough.
Oh, sorry, Orion. That was Orion calling me, probably to talk, how his crew are so good. I don't know why he's bringing crew. Maybe the interesting thing about some of the people that have chosen Orion, to me, is probably one of the best kill team players in the United States.
Yeah, I would agree.
And he chose to bring Kroot.
An interesting choice.
So my question is,
historically the worst team right now.
We all think they're bad. The data says they're bad. On CPTS, the Command Point Tournament
League
thing,
whatever.
There's a guy that's 3-0. He could lose the next 6 games or however many rounds. I have no idea how many rounds there are.
Neither.
But I'm wondering if Orion has found a secret code to crack Kroot. There's 3 Americans bringing Kroot.
Yeah, that's an odd one because even in second edition, they weren't like hot.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't even be like, I'm comfortable with them, bringing them over.
Yeah. Now we can pull up. There's a somebody on the Golden Ticket Discord came up with a few graphics. So we're going to show off some of these things over here. We have 1 player bringing Wormblade, a couple more that we just don't know, right? We have 2 Commando players, 3 Hearthkin Salvagers, 1 Deathcore. I like how they chose me to show off.
You.
Yeah, it's just me. I win best in faction.
By default.
Hey!
So does Wormblade.
Easy. So do that, yeah. We have 5 Plague Marine players. This is gonna be really important.
I was
later.
so not surprised after reading the rules. Like, there's no way someone's not gonna bring these.
This is gonna be really important later on. Very important. We have Corsairs Void Scars, right? We have 4 of those. Corsairs is probably going to be my next team.
It's a good team. Very good team.
I have a really fun painting scheme because for me, every competitive player that I talk to, they're like, why are you bringing Deathcore? Why not just play a real team? And to me, that feels disingenuous because for me, I really enjoy teams. I really enjoy I will play Eldar when they suck. Okay. I will play Veteran Guard when they suck. Okay. Because I enjoy the models. I enjoy the way they play. Okay. I'm a comfort man at heart. I'm not a meta chaser. Just because Vet Guard were good for so long doesn't mean that, like, yeah. Okay. That's besides.
You got to play Blades of Cain next.
See, Blades of Cain are different. I would already be playing Blades of Lame. I would, but the designers made some really poor decisions with Blades of Cain that I just cannot get behind because for me, I'm a lore guy. I like lore. A lot of the stuff on Blades of Cain, I just completely disagree with. They made the team really difficult to play. They made them really too gigabrain, right? Like whoever made this team had like an IQ of 100. Okay.
Okay.
I have an IQ of like 65.
Nice.
Okay. So, yeah. So I would already be playing the team if I could, but
right.
To me, they're too difficult for what they are. We have 2 Mandrakes players.
Nice.
4 Void Dancers, 4 Void Dancers, 3 Farstalker Kinban. We have 11 Inquisitions. We have 1 Navy Breacher. Now, this is interesting.
So brave, that one brave guy.
What's interesting is in our statistics, for the squad game statistics, there has been 0 Imperial Navy Breachers players at competitive events that are 16 players and 4 rounds or more.
I wonder why
since the new edition. Because they're not good.
Yeah, but I still see like Deathcore.
Oh, just wait, my friend. Just wait. Just wait. They're definitely not good. Okay, they're definitely.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
I mean, they might be better than Deathcore. I don't know.
I don't think so.
That's fair.
I don't think so.
Phobos Strike Team has 5, which is a very Spanish thing to do. So we're going to see how many Spanish players are playing Phobos. I know there's 1 American, Jason Fay. He got his golden ticket from New York Open. We also have 15 Legionary, 14 Warp Coven. Those are the 2 teams that most people think are the best teams currently. Obviously, because they have also brought them to the most competitive tournament. You have some ding-dongs like me who don't do that.
Nope.
But that's besides the point. We also have Hyrotech, which is another really strong team. And in fact, I think we would see Felgor in this list if it wasn't for Hyrotech. Hyrotech and Plague Marines beat Felgor pretty dang hard, and that's the reason why Felgor are not here. The thing that I'm worried about is Games Workshop last year buffed every team that didn't show up to Worlds, and then they nerfed the teams that did really well. Games Workshop, if you watch this, please do not buff Felgor. They are already extremely strong. Please do not bring back the Winter of Melee. Please.
We're going to make this hard for you.
Please. They're already a good team. Okay. They just
too hard
they're
counters.
they're not hard counters even. They're just not great into teams that have injury auras, right? You have Hierotek Circle, who has an 8-inch injury bubble, which is 16 inches of the board. That means when the Felgor charges in, they hit on 4s, and then they're injured, and I don't know if it stacks, but they hit on 4s, maybe 5s. It's bad, right? I don't think it stacks. And then you have Plague Marines who kind of do the same thing, right? So they're Felgor that got buffed. They hit on 3s now, right? And now they hit on 4s again. So it's just innately worse. Are they bad into them? Maybe not, but that is one of the reasons why it didn't, right?
Right.
So the teams, these are what's coming to Worlds. You know, faction-wise, it's very interesting. There's a lot of teams left off the table. A lot of teams. I believe there's one Blades of Cain player. That is going to be Robert Nichols. I'm very interested to see what he brings, because he might just bring Dire Avengers. Mono Dire Avengers the entire time. We'll have to see.
Accurate strong. I mean, it's not triggering their critical ability, but you know.
Yeah, it just depends. Another interesting thing is Worlds has 93 players, and LVO, we've already sold 96 tickets.
Not bad.
Yes. So if you're looking to come to a really large tournament, have a lot of fun, consider the Las Vegas Open, which is in January.
And in Vegas.
And
in the
Vegas,
name.
which is always great. So moving on to faction, what is this? Faction by players? I think we just went over this.
Basically, we just had 2 graphs, so we'll skip this.
You're right. You're right. We're going to move on to the next slide. I think this is going to be player count. I'll move this back onto this side. Nice.
Nice.
So we have 24% of players playing Hordes, 30% playing mid-range, and 45% playing Elites.
Not surprised.
Considering, I think the interesting thing, I think most people were thinking that we were going to have a 60% elite. So this is about 15% less of what people were thinking were going to come to Worlds. That was like people's like in the Discord, like saying like, oh,
this is the majority of this team.
That's what they think. That's what they think. So we're going to go into pod 1. Let's see if I can make us a little smaller.
Whoa.
So going over a couple of the pods real quick. We'll try to make this quick. We have Adrian Bonavento. He won ITC last year. He's currently ranked 36 in the world. He's playing Hierotek. We have an Angels of Death player, quite a high ITC rankings. Now, here's the thing. You can't really say that players who have a low ITC ranking are bad.
Right.
Because
they didn't go to tournaments.
They could have also went to tournaments that didn't know how to submit ITC rankings.
There's always that. Yeah.
There's a couple of people from last year saying that there was people from other countries like Chile and a couple other places that they were just like actually sharks at the table, right? You can be good and not have a good ITC score.
Right.
Okay.
If it's not submitted, then it can never be up.
So we have Angels of Death. We have a Mandrakes. We have Commandos. Is this pod 1? Yes,
This is pod 1, yeah.
Plague Marines, Legionary, Blooded, Blades of Cain, Hearthskin Salvagers, Hierotek Circle, Inquisitorial Agents. So looking on the left-hand side, we don't know a lot of other people here. I know Adrian Bonavento. I know Janice. I know Robert Nichols. I know Shane. And that's it. So I don't know the guys from England. It looks like Tom Robinson has quite a high ATC score, so it looks like he goes to at least a lot of tournaments. Shane Price probably has gone to about as many as me, which is, I think I've only gone to like 4 or 5, and I've done well at them. We have 2 people from Argentina. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Cool.
We have John Reese from Wales, which is awesome. John Reese is a really cool dude, by the way. Then we have Fernando Andrade from Mexico, and then we have Felipe Gallardo from Chile and Devin Menz from Canada. Who, if we had a guess, this is going to be really hard. This is like this is the pod that is like stacked. Every pod is stacked. I'm not going to lie. what do you think's going to get out of this pod? Only 2 of these players make it on to the next round.
Heretic Circle and Inquisitorial Allegiance, one of each. Which ones? I don't know, but those are the 2 teams I think.
So you're thinking Tom Robinson or Shane Pierce, and you're thinking Adrian Bonavento.
And Shane C. Smith.
And Shane? Shane is playing, he's playing Higher Tech Circle too. Mm-hmm. So you think either Shane or Adrian will get out, and you think one of the Inquisitorial Agents. Mm-hmm. Now, interesting thing in this pod, there's only 1 Legionary player. Out of the 15 people bringing it, John Reese got the lucky pod to be by himself in there.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't deal with Plague Marines, but that's not that bad.
I don't think so. I think that Legionary poop on Plague Marines.
They have the Meltagun. They have the option to kill one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough.
That's the best thing they have.
Yeah. And then I also think that Plague Marines are going to really struggle. So I think Janice is going to struggle into Hyrotech. And I think she's going to struggle into Legionary. So I don't know if Janice is going to get out of the pod. She might. There's always a possibility. But there's also no one knew who Alexa was last year. So
and then exploded on the scene in one.
Exploded. So man, if you had to take a guess, G.
Just between the 2 that were coming out, right?
Just 2 people make it out. Who are the 2 people?
Ooh, this is tough because
we're gonna hurt some feelings
because we have Shane and Adrian from the US.
Yes, we
both
do.
Playing Hyrotech, and I only think one Hyrotech's going to come out because if they go against each other, only one of them can win. I think I have to barely. No, I think I give it to Shane. I think Shane's going to make it out. Shane's been playing Hyrotech for longer, even in the older edition. Mm-hmm. So he kind of makes them more. Not to say Adrian isn't good with something, right? He knows how to learn a team and play them really well.
The problem is I don't know if Hyrotech can beat Commandos or Inquisition. I mean, this is so hard. It's hard.
Well, that's why I'm saying. So there's a good chance that they might not pair, mm-hmm. right? So they might get 1 or 2.
What are the chances that the Hearth can make it out? Argentina. He has a great ITC score.
Hearthkin, I think, are pretty decent into elites.
Uh-huh. There's not a ton of elites in this.
There's not a ton of elites. There's got 3. I think
no
Blooded
idea.
do just a little better if we're going to go with an Argentina pick.
Okay.
I'm thinking Mikey Hood from Skill Issue is probably the one if we're going to go an Argentina pick.
Okay. All right.
I think the body dumper works.
I have no idea.
The Blooded are still strong.
I'm just going to be excited to see what happens. So we'll move on to the second pod real quick. Pod number 2. We have Alejandro Jimenez, Ben Campbell, Brandon Bean, Dylan Wendt, Emily Beardsley, Fernando. So we have Ace in this pod.
Ooh.
Franco Reale, Guy Batten, Sam Clark, Sebastian Jamie, Tom Catchasides?
Catchsides?
I don't know. He's from England.
Okay.
And Vivek. Wow. It's a pretty stacked pod here. Interesting. I know quite a few people.
This one is Elite City.
Is it Elite City?
Yeah, 1, 2,
Phobos,
3,
Legionary,
4, 5,
Blooded, Legionary, Warp Coven,
6,
Hyrotech,
7,
Blooded, Warp Coven, Phobos, and Warp Coven. So what? How many Warp Covens are in this pod?
I mean, personally, I think Hyrotech are elites, but no one else. But Kenya really Crit agrees with me.
We've already seen 4 of the 6 Hyrotechs in the first 2 pods. And then we have 3 of the 14 Warp Coven, 3 of the 14 Legionary. Yeah. Oh, yikes. And a bunch of Phobos. This is an
elite one.
So there's Blooded. Good luck, my guy. Brandon.
Actually, I'm okay with Blooded.
Brandon's good. Brandon's real good. Brandon,
I think Blooded are going to do okay.
Do you think that Blooded
could probably beat Phobos Strike Team, and Phobos Strike Team can, So, if you get into the
Blooded
Phobos
can
Strike
also
pair,
beat Hyrotech.
Yeah. So if you get into those 2 pair, you get super lucky. You might be able
Let's say all the Legionaries and all the Warp Covens.
They might eat themselves before
and then Brandon jumps above everyone else and
it could absolutely happen.
It could.
That's what I'm saying when I'm looking at this pod right here. This is actually hard for me to determine who'd come out.
You know what's interesting is that Ace says that he is ITC ranked number 2. That is incorrect. ITC number 2 goes to Jimmy Kelly.
Oh.
For some reason, whoever made this graphic was wrong.
They might have been looking at some old data.
He is 3rd. Ace won ITC 2 years in a row, and he was dethroned by Adrian Bonavento, who is in pod 1.
Right.
Wow. So there is only 4 teams that are not elites. Because we can look over here, G. You
Right.
see the faction
Yeah, we
types?
see it all right there. We got the 2 hordes, 2 mid-ranges. This is a tough one. I want to say that Legionary is still going to come out of this A-okay. But if I wasn't going to take a Legionary pick, I'd also pick Heretic Circle.
Okay.
Still.
Hierotex in there, huh?
I have confidence in Heretic.
So what, you're thinking Ace or Franco get out? And then what else do you think, G? No. Ace is not. Ace is playing Warp Coven.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. The slingshot move they have going like I'm here, now I'm over here is very strong. But that kind of pushes you from not doing the
Warp
mission.
Coven is one of the best teams in the game.
For sure, hit and runs. I just like Heretic's control and stuff.
I have found that Warp Coven can struggle into Legionary. That is one of their more even matchups. So, and there's quite a lot of Legionary. There's Ben Campbell. Ben Campbell, I know that people say he's the narrative guy. You know,
he knows his stuff.
Kill Team Casuals.
He knows his stuff.
Right?
Ben's dope.
In fact, I was on Kill Team Casuals yesterday.
There you go.
For if anyone wants to go check that out.
Yeah, because I think Heretic and Legionary are coming out of this. Now, which ones? I can't say. I think everyone here is relatively similar in terms
Sam Clark, huh? So we know quite a few of these people. Sam Clark is
going
from
with Blooded, yeah.
He's from Australia, and he's taking Blooded. And we have Vivek. Vivek got second at LVO.
With
Veteran Guard.
When they're Vet Guard, yeah.
And he's fallen to the dark side.
He's gone to Warp Coven.
He's gone to Warp Coven.
He likes the slingshots.
And I'm going to tease him.
I like that.
I'm going to tease him hard.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's my pick. What do you think? What do you think is going to come out of here? Which of the 2 teams? Because I can't say a player in particularly.
Man, I'm looking at the teams here. It's hard to count out Guy Barton. Guy is a really strong player from England. Watched a lot of like the England scene. You have Ace, who's an amazing player. Emily is a great player from the Pacific Northwest. Brandon Bean's a great guy from Pacific Northwest. Ben is great from Florida. Dylan, I don't know Dylan. Well, I probably know Dylan, but I don't know his last name. So I don't think I've met Dylan before. So I can't say, but he's bringing Legionary. I mean, if you're bringing Legionary, you got a chance.
You already have a chance because it's a strong team.
I'm going to probably say Ace has a really good chance of getting out of this group. But I would also say that I would not be surprised if he does. So if I had to say, I'd probably say Ace. And then we're going to go with my boy, Ben Campbell with Legionary. Woo! Making it out of group
Legionary
2.
Soup.
Yeah, gonna come out with Ben.
Him and his Red Corsairs.
May the Emperor save us if only Warp Coven players make it out, or only Legionary players make it out.
I think it's time for the end of.
Who knows?
The end of the Imperium.
Any of these people could make it.
Rise of the Tomb, Heretic Circle, come for the win.
So,
is that most of the Heretic Circle right now? Because they only have 6 players?
Well, here's another Heretic Circle. So there's only one more in the whole thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So pod 3, we're looking at, I'm going to just go through the factions. We're looking at Legionary, Farstalker, Void Dancers, our first Void Dancers so far. We have Inquisitorial Agents, who is the number 1 on IGC, Carlos. It's going to be hard to say that he's not going to make it out of this group.
Yeah.
We have Christian Layton with Legionary. We have Warp Coven, Heretic, Void Dancers, Phobos, Hand of the Archon. Ooh, spicy.
That is a spicy one.
Farstalker Kinban, Orion, ranked number 5. Again, I've sang his praises earlier. And then we also have
Taz. How do you say that?
Yeah.
Tazjuar? Shwar?
I'm going to go whatever you said.
Tazjuar? I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah. Playing Wormblade from Australia.
Hey, Wormblade's cool.
Yeah. Maybe you got to be like, Joy, mate.
Okay.
Is that Australian? I don't know. So we have, this one has Mexico, US, UK, Spain, Chile, Argentina, Canada.
England.
And England.
Yeah.
Okay. Quite a big group. We have Alberto Lomunguez. We have Alexander Salazar, who has played nothing but Kroot since the last edition. So he's
comfortable with
He's me.
He's comfortable with
He's me.
Yeah, he's comfortable.
Yeah, so don't count out Alexander Salazar. He is a really good player with Farstalker, even if people don't think that Farstalker is great. We have Bart Ladowski playing Void Dancers,
which is hella strong.
I don't know Bart, probably because he's from the UK.
That's why.
Yeah, we have Carlos. I think he's going to get out of groups. I don't think that if I was a betting guy, which I'm not, I would have to go with Carlos.
You'd be like Carlos and Ace are leaving because historically they're really good players.
Ace didn't make it out last year.
Oh,
yeah. Who knows?
Dang.
Who knows? It's crazy town. We have Christian Layton, Franco, Kellen. We know Kellen. Kellen is from Kel team. He is bringing his Hyrotech circle. We have Koa Lee, and I believe Koa has been getting some tips from a bunch of different people playing Void Dancers. There's a couple like Void Dancers like fanatics. We have Charlotte, which we look forward to getting Charlotte on the podcast in the future. I think she's ranked currently number 1 Void Dancer player.
Wow, congratulations.
And then we have Matthew Surridge, and we have Nestor Bailey, which is he's a New York guy. I've never met him.
Nice.
Talked to him online, but never met him. We have Orion.
Classic.
And then we have Taz. We have the Taz.
Hell yeah.
So, we have supposedly inquisitorial agents getting out of this pod, and then what else are you going to put in there?
Oh yeah, inquisitorial for sure. Oh, this is a tough one.
So this is an elite light pod because there's only 4 elites in this pod.
Yeah, this one.
This is the Horde pod.
Hyrotech, I think, can actually dominate more because they don't have to go up as to many elites.
Which
right? One? Hyrotech, I think, can do a little better because they don't have to go up as many elites, which they can deal with elites, but elites can absolutely deal with them. So if they have more chances of running into them, then they have a better chance of losing. So I think Kellen has a good shot of making it out of here, but I absolutely think inquisitorial agents are going to leave.
Yeah.
One of the 2 inquisitorials for sure.
My guy, where there's Orion in this pod, but he's playing Kroot.
Farstalker kid, what does he know? Or he just really likes what he painted.
I don't know.
Because that is crazy gamble.
Orion did call me in the middle of this podcast, and I had to ignore him.
That is a crazy gamble to take this.
It is.
But Alexander too, like, what are they thinking? What do they know?
They know some stuff,
Hey, but don't sell it short on Void Dancers. Void Dancers have the abilities to go like bam, bam, hit you twice, kill you. Power Swords are strong. And Super Conceal is strong, especially on a lot of Volcus where everything's heavy.
It's interesting. A lot of the elite players in this specific pod have rather high ITC scores outside of Franco. Now, again, we can't judge
based just on that
because we don't know what TOs are going on, how much they're playing. You don't objectively know, but the ranking is there. So it's
right. It could also be there's only a handful of tournaments there too. So therefore you can't get higher.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
So yeah, because I don't know how many tournaments are happening in Mexico.
Yeah,
but he could be just like Mr. Luna Gomez over there can be really good.
Yeah,
but he's only ever gotten 1 tournament that had an ITC.
If I have to guess in this group, I'm gonna say Carlos and Bart Ladowski with the Void Dancers, the only Void Dancer player to get out of groups.
I could totally see that.
It could happen.
And I think I'd have to agree. As much as I think Kellen could get out of here, there's 2 Void Dancers and 2 Inquisitorial Agents, which are also strong teams.
I think Farstalkers might have good play into Necrons, the Hyrotech.
Okay, you think so?
So maybe. I don't know.
Call Orion and find out.
I could.
Do you want to call him right now and find out?
Phone a friend.
Do you want to phone a friend? He's right there.
I know, right? I know. Here, let's call Orion.
Let's find out. Let's phone a friend.
We're gonna call Orion and see if he answers. All right.
Welcome to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Do you want to use one of your lifelines?
Yes, I want to. Let's see if he answers.
We'll phone a friend.
He might not like me anymore. He might not answer.
True. We did have to hang up. You're listening to this live.
Yeah.
Well, I guess pre-recorded.
He's not going to answer.
No, he's making some
He's
chicken
busy.
masala.
He's busy.
He's busy doing his thing.
Making chicken masala, yeah. He is a cook.
He is a great chef.
Yeah.
For those who went to or had the chance to go to the Kill Team Open, he was providing all the food.
Yeah. So I will say, if he calls back, we will ask him this question. And if not, who knows? I guess we're going to have to find out. We're going to
find out at Worlds.
Because maybe Orion could. Maybe it's like, dude, if Farstalkers gets out, like, people are going to have to eat a lot of feet.
A lot of feet.
Crude hooves.
A lot of feet. I was wondering where you're going to go with that.
I don't know.
All right, let's go to the next pod.
So this is my pod.
Okay.
I can talk about my pod.
Dakota's getting out of this pod. I'm such a supportive friend, but I know I'm just making death comfortable.
Yeah. So we have 3 out of the 5 Plague Marines in this pod.
Oh my god. See, I don't think they're like impossible to beat. I just think they're just such a rough time playing against.
Yeah. And then we have 4 out of the 15 Legionaries in this pod. And then outside of those, we have the Death Corps of Krieg, which I am playing. We have Inquisitorial Agents, Illustardian Star Striders, Hearthkin Salvagers, and another Inquisitorial Agents. So we have 2 Inquisition, 1 Star Strider, 1 Hearthkin. Now, the Star Strider apparently has no ITC rating. Apparently.
Wow, yeah.
Hearthkin Salvagers has a 1500, right? One's from Canada, one's from Chile. No idea. I've never met either one. Maybe I have met Matt.
Maybe Matt.
I've met quite a few Canadians because LVO is quite popular.
LVO. They love popping down to LVO, you know?
Yeah. So let's see here. We have Christopher Scott Bloor, who's apparently a hobby fanatic. Apparently, he brings the whole package. He's supposedly a great people I've talked to from Last Worlds say that he does amazing paint jobs.
All right.
And then he's super sportsman as well. So I'm looking forward to meeting him. We have Javier Escu from Spain. I don't know him. I'm not sure. We have Kevin Starr.
2 R's.
Yeah. From the US. I think we were both at Nova. We never met.
Okay.
That I know of. We have Liam Bladwell from Australia. He is currently the number 1 ranked player in Australia.
Okay.
Liam's been crushing all of Australia this year. And he is also bringing Inquisitorial Agents. Fantastic. I love that. We have Lucas playing the Legionary from Argentina. And then we have Matt Godlington, great name, by the way, playing Legionary. Matt Wilhelm from the Pacific Northwest. I think he just moved across country, but he might not have. I have no idea. Also playing Legionary. And then we have Mike Cortez, good friend of mine, playing Inquisitorial Agents. He's annoyed with how many models he has to paint, and I just keep trying to remind him that he's going to have a lot of teams done after this.
Yes. And remember, that was your choice.
Yes.
It was your choice, Mike.
Just like my choice to bring Vetguard.
You could have just taken any of the teams you had before.
Yeah.
That's your choice.
And then we have Nick Collins also playing Plague Marines. Now, interesting thing, I think that Vetguard actually have played into Plague Marines. I think theoretically I have a shot. I don't want to reveal my strategies now because I know some of my opponents are going to be watching this. Whether or not I'm completely wrong that's probably the case. I'm probably just completely wrong because my original inclination of Plague Marines is that they just shoot you as a vet guard, and if one shot goes through, your model's dead. Like there's poison.
You'll die. You're on a time clock.
Yeah, they just kill you on kill ops way too hard. I think they're really strong. That was my initial inclination. I think with them being slow, I think there is certain things that I could play into them, but their healing can be a problem.
Yeah.
The fact that healing is a counteract as well. Imagine a homie just walking up and healing a guy 14 wounds after I did like healing a guy and then counteracting healing the guy after doing like 13 melt to wounds. The guy's alive on 1. And he's like, well, now he's back to 8. Now he's back to full.
do it again. And then at that point, you're already dead.
Yeah. That could happen too, right? Legionary are obscenely difficult for Deathcore of Krieg to fight.
Yeah.
Again, there's a possibility that there is, and there's like ways that I am trying to finagle my mind to make it work, right? But there are specific things that Legionary can do to Deathcore which make it almost impossible to win. If the people on this don't already know, I don't want to tell them how to beat me, since I am going to play,
Yep.
But I will say from playing into Legionary, it is a very difficult matchup.
It's an uphill battle.
It is all of these guys.
All these are uphill battles.
Yeah.
I think personally that Matt Therian with Hearthkin Salvagers has an okay shot.
Oh, here's Orion.
Oh.
Hold on. Orion, hold on. We are live. We are live recording our podcast. I was calling you because I wanted to get something. I wanted to ask you a question, and I'll call you back after the podcast. You can tell me whatever you want. Okay, my guy? Okay. My question is, we're going through the WCW right now, and you're bringing Kroot, right? And we're like, wow, this guy's so good, but he's bringing Kroot. Does he know stuff, or is he just doing stuff?
So what's the question?
Do you know stuff, or are you just doing stuff?
Well, I can't answer that question. I'm giving away all my goodies.
Okay. Well, all right. Well,
do you know some kind of tech that you don't have to share that you think will give you an edge?
I mean, no. Maybe. I don't know.
I like.
Who knows what's gonna happen?
Ryan's here not trying to give anyway, just like me right now. I was literally just going over my pod. Ryan, I do have a question. I think that Kroot definitely have play into Higher Tech Circle, and that was my actual question. Was I was calling you to see, like, do you think that Kroot have play into Higher Tech Circle, or do you think you just lose to Higher Tech?
I mean, it would sure help if I've ever played Higher Tech. I can tell you that much. 6 out of the 12 teams on my pod, I have not played against. So there you go.
I love it.
I'm lucky. I only have like 6 teams in my pod, and I've never played against Plague Marines. So, all right. Well, that was my question. It was very informative. Thank you, Orion. I'll give you a call back after. Yeah.
We appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate you, brother.
Yep, bye-bye now.
All right. Bye.
What a good sport.
This is what we have to do from now on. When we get to Jimmy's pod, I'm just going to be like, yo, Jimmy, what do you think? And he's going to curse a lot. And then be like, my guy, we got to cut all of it now. All right. My goodness.
Oh, we should call him though.
Yeah, we should.
Well, yeah, I think Hearthkin are decent into elites in general. Those love a smorgasbord of shooting guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at the end of the day, still Legionary get to come out. I think it's double Legionary, honestly.
Yeah, if Mike Cortez or Liam doesn't get out with Inquisitorial Agents, I 100% think it's going to be, this pod will be a double Legionary pod. Mm-hmm. It's possible that Plague Marines can get out, but from all the competitive players that have played Plague Marines into Legionary, they've said that it is an uphill battle for Legionary.
But they can still edge it out.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think Plague Marines can. The question is can a Plague Marine do it to all 4 Legionary players? We have Javier Escu from Spain, ranked 24th. Lucas Huberisk, ranked 320. We have Matt Godlington, and we have Matt Wilhelm, all fantastic players playing Legionary, right? Plague Marines, we also have great players. We have Nick Collins. We have Christopher Scott Bloor. If he is as legendary as I've heard, I hope he gets out.
He's getting out of this pod.
Then we have Kevin Starr, who's a really good player as well. But also like Liam and Cortez are just fantastic. Sorry, Matt Theron, and I'm sorry, Lewis, and I'm sorry, Dakotah. Right? I'm going to put us all into D tier because my name starts with D, and D means don't get out of groups.
I mean, I would like one of these the Dakotah tiers to get out of there, but I do think as much as they could do damage, I don't think they can do it enough.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Star Striders can do like the big one-shot killing one elite guy, but that's just one.
Yeah.
And same thing with the Salvagers. I'm actually not sure what your tech is, so I guess we'll just see that in action. But I don't think there's enough to do it consistently before you run out of gas.
You're 100% right.
So
You're 100% right.
I think Legionaries are coming out of these ones.
Yeah, I think Legionary is going to make it out, and it's going to be amazing when the top 16 players are
Just like
15 Legionary and 1 Warp Coven. It's actually impossible to do that because there's 4 Legionary in this pod, so maximum 2 can get out.
right,
of this
so
pod.
it's not a possibility.
Correct.
Wow.
We might have like 8 Legionaries and 7 Warp Coven.
And then 1 Inquisitorial Agents or something.
Yeah, like Ace or Carlos. Or
right, in the top.
Yeah, well, Ace is playing Warp Coven, so I don't know.
He can be the Warp Coven, Carlos can be
so
Inquisitorial.
in my personal, I've been like workshopping ways to possibly beat this team, and I'll call a couple people that aren't in my pod, and I'll be like, hey, do you think that this is a good idea? Like, you play Legionary, would this annoy you? And they're like, yes, it would, Dakotah. I'm like,
Bet.
good. I like that it would annoy you. Does that mean it wins? No. But if I can be annoying with nicely painted models, I'm doing my job.
Maybe they make a mistake too, and you get to edge it out. You know?
Yeah. So if I end up doing well, I will 100% come back to YouTube and be like, yo, this is the smoke. You know, we're not getting a buff because I figured something out, you know? But more than likely, I don't see that happening.
I think your best, if I had to think of something, I think your best would be you get the Salvager, so you get Matt Therian first.
Okay.
Right?
And I win, and then all the Legionaries kill themselves?
Right, and then you have to play into Star Striders, hopefully.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Star Striders have always been good into Veteran Guard. Always have, probably always will, and I have never competitively fought Star Striders.
Would you rather fight Star Striders or Legionary? In the
Star
second round?
Striders.
There you go. So Star Striders is your best bet, and then you just gotta hope that the last round that player is tired and you just take him out.
So I get 2 of those, and that means that so I have to play both the guys who I don't think are going to get
the 2 mid ranges,
the 2 mids, and then I go like 0-4. From then on,
but you got to pray that the last round, that elite player is tired. They're like, I'm hungry. I don't care if I win anymore. And you just got to hope you get that guy. Like, everything's got to go in your favor. In the spelling bee, you got to have all the 3-letter words, you know, every time it's your turn.
So again, the reason why I'm bringing Deathcore is because I'm very proud of the paint job. I'm very proud of all the hobby work I've done on them. I'm not super, super sweaty. And also, we had access to the rules a little bit early, and ethically, I don't think it's correct of me to like see a team and then start hopping them before anyone else.
Right. This is good of you. That's good.
And also, you know, if Games Workshop sees me jump on my own grenade and lose every game there, and sees that they need to get buffed because of it, then I will more than happily be a martyr for the Emperor. But who knows? I might actually do okay. And I might not.
They might give you a nerf.
Yeah. I'm very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Whew.
So going through the last few pods here, we have pod.
This is number 7.
Pod 7. So we have Dylan Gill, who is another great player from the US. He's won a lot of events, quite a few events, and done well at others. We have Eric Croyer from he's playing Phobos. We have Hearthing Salvagers, Phobos. We have Francois Leon Winnett. I've seen Francois on Discord quite a lot. Talked in passing. Very excited to meet Francois. Playing Void Dancers. George Moore playing Warp Coven. We have James.
Hey, George.
Love George. We have James Crossgrove playing Void Corsairs.
Nice.
Javier playing Hunter Clade, Jeshua playing Legionary, Juampe Rodriguez playing Exaction, KT Albacore Torres playing Legionary, Leander Garrett playing Warp Coven, Santiago Barrera playing Blooded, and Serkan Aryan playing Warp Coven. I'm voting for him just because I like his name so much.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. This to me is the group of death. So in League of Legends, whenever you get drawn into groups at Worlds or something like that, they usually call something the group of death, which is there's two options of it. Either one, everyone's going to be so competitive that it's impossible to tell who's going to get out of where, or there's such a killer in that group they get out, right? Like no matter what. It's hard for me not to imagine the guy who took down New York Open with Warp Coven not getting out of this group.
Right.
I think that George has a leg up to get out of this group. He took down New York Open. He's a fantastic player from Canada, and I think that he could get out. And for me, I'm going to have to vote for the other one to be from the U.S., right? We have Jeshua and we have Leander.
Both excellent players.
Both excellent players, and I hope both of them get out because they're both youngins. I think they're both great players. But you never know what's going to happen. In this group, anyone could get out. Look at the ITC rankings. There's only
the lowest is 365.
2, 3 people that are over 100.
Wow.
And only one person over 200.
Wow, it really just comes down to who they get paired up with, right?
Yeah.
Because there's some hard counters in these teams.
The ITC, what we're seeing in this is that there's a lot of players that perform really well at tournaments or that go to like a lot of tournaments. There's like one guy, I think in Jimmy's pod, who is ranked like 30th or 28th or something like that. And he's gone to 20 events this year, which means that he's going literally every other weekend to
Wow, he is grinding.
Yeah. So like, yeah, depending on what you're doing, like a lot of these people have a lot of competitive backgrounds in this specific pod, right? And it's difficult to say like the Hearthkin could get out. It's possible, right? Dylan's a great Hearthkin player. You have Void Dancers, Phobos, Hunter Clade.
Yeah, don't sleep on Hunter Clade, man. They hit. But it really comes down to like when you look at George, Leander, and Sirkin, they don't want to go up each other in the first round because then one of them is gone.
Well, you can lose one game.
You can lose one game.
You can lose one. Maybe
but still,
two.
you don't want to lose your first game. Like, and if they have to go up against each other, then Warp Coven just becomes a little bit harder to get out.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wouldn't want to go up against Josh. He's good at calculating like on the spot and kind of figuring out what to do.
Josh beat me at Nova. That was Josh's first time being able to beat me in a competitive event.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was playing scouts.
Yeah,
I made it hard for him.
You make it hard for them, right?
I did.
Make them fight like hell.
But children beat me all the time
because
these children are monsters.
Because Josh was good at the game. He's been playing Legionnaires forever, including into 3rd edition.
The last time I played Leander beat me.
Leander's also really good.
KTO too. There's a lot, but I mean, you have Francois in this group, who is the number 1 TO. He's like me,
but over there in France.
But in France,
and Void Dancers are still strong. Power Weapons are still strong.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with Corsard Voice Scars.
I don't think I've met Eric Courier, so I'm very interested to meet a lot of these top tier American players that I haven't met yet.
Right,
and be like, "Yo, why haven't you come to LVO? Have you bought your tickets yet?" That's what I'm going to say.
That's what's up.
And then they're gonna watch this, and then they're gonna know. They're gonna be like, "Yo, Dakotah,
where do I get my LVO tickets?"
Yeah, I'm coming. Or they'll say something very rude to me, like, "Actually, I can't make it because it's too financially like hard for me." And then I'll be like, "Well, that hurts my heart."
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, my guy, my girl.
That's gonna be a tough one. I do think it's gonna be the elites that come out, or one elite. I don't know which one. And then one of the 2 elves are going to come out of this.
Void Dancers or Corsairs?
Mm-hmm. I think Corsairs a little bit more.
It would be cool to see James get out of the group with Corsairs,
Mm-hmm.
Francois. I mean, it's crazy because I've talked a lot of times, like there are certain people who are very biased when you talk to them and they're like, "Oh, I think this person can get out," but for me, I don't see that, like I just see the players, I see the stats. I know a lot of these players, and I think this group seems like it is the group of death for me. It's going to be a very interesting group to watch. And then you guys will all know who gets out at the end of Friday. Hopefully we'll be able to make some kind of a graphic so we can like post it or something like that. Not a promise. We'll see how tired I am.
Maybe.
Yeah. Going on to group number 6. Just 3 groups left, everyone. I apologize.
Whew.
We have... unlike the last group, there's only 3 players under 100 in this. That's crazy.
That's less group of death.
Let's go back real quick before we get into it. Okay, so this group, There is 1, 2, 3. This is group 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people under, let's just say under 200.
Okay.
Okay. So there's 7 people under 200 in pod 1, right? But this is all like the YouTubers. This is the YouTuber one, you know, and the like ITC winners and stuff. This pod under 200, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people under 200. We have 2 people in the 200. So this is a very strong group as well. Pod 2, ITC score wise. Pod 3 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people under 200.
Not bad.
I mean, look at under 10 though. How many people are under 10 in each pod? So 2 people in this one in the first one. And then on this one, oh, this is pretty scary too. So this is my pod. So pod 4, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again,
and no one under 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, 8.
Yes.
8. And no one
under 10.
No
at
one.
all.
That makes it so much more balanced, you know?
I guess.
Yeah, I'm at 245, so I don't even count for this one. This is the
pot of death.
This is the pot of death. Yeah, we've already gone over that. That's like only 2 people. One person
is under 10.
Yeah, 11 people.
I mean, I guess you could say
11.
Yeah, it's
11. All right. Goodness gracious. This one we have 1, 2. This is the next pod we're going to go over. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 under 200. So this is another strong pod, right? So on this one, we have Aiden Clinton playing Warp Coven, Alejandro Soprano playing Navy Breachers. That's the guy. Argentina, my guy, coming out.
Bringing the Breachers.
And with a really high ITC score.
Yeah, 141.
Not bad.
Breachers, yeah.
Not bad. Alexander Arthur, I love this man. I wish his twin was coming.
Oh, yeah, you told me about him.
I love the twins. Alexander Arthur is playing Elites. He's playing Warp Coven.
Classic.
If you get to meet this man in real life, him and Aiden are like the pinnacles of what kill teamers should be. Great hobbyists, great people. Of course, he's from Canada. Wait.
No, he's USA.
That's wrong. Alex, you told me you're from Canada.
He's trolling with you.
Maybe.
His twin is.
Maybe Alexander Arthur was supposed to be Jimmy because they swapped.
Well, we'll have to see that at WCW streams. But for now, we got Chris.
We have Chris Bakke. He's a great guy. He is a very good bats. And Chris Bakke actually sponsored part of the stream as we go out there. And we have to thank Chris for that. Thank you, Chris and Bats. That's the Bay Area Tournament Squad. If you guys want to join the Bay Area Tournament Squad, make sure you guys reach out to Chris. They have initiations. You have to hang upside down and act like a vampire.
It's crazy.
While playing Kill Team. I don't know if any of that's true.
We're making this up.
We're making it up.
Yeah.
We have Jason Steinke. I talked to Jason quite a lot. Jason won SoCal Open in 2022.
Yep.
He's a very good player. We just had him on.
He really knows his elites. Maybe we'll have him on for Warp Coven one day.
Yeah, we have a Twitch game with him that we will post to YouTube, and then we also have a Patreon episode with him, and that's when I ran. It's an actual practice game for Worlds. That's when he heals 16.
It was wild.
16 wounds. It was awesome. It was great. We have Jonathan Soley with Novitiates.
Nice, strong.
So what's interesting is Novitiates really, 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 really struggle into Plague Marines.
Good thing there's only one Plague Marine here.
Yeah, he got lucky. He got
really lucky.
Juan Sebastian Quinche. I don't know his last name. Void Dancers. Matus from Poland playing Inquisitorial Agents. I'm very surprised at his ITC ranks. Matus is a very good player. We have Matt Opperman with 130 playing Plague Marines. Matthew Richard from France, I assume. Yes. Playing Commandos, which are very good as well. And we have Pablo Brazal Palas from playing Warp Coven. So in this one, we have Warp Coven, Warp Coven, Warp Coven, Warp Coven.
And then 1 Plague Marines. No Legionary.
Plague Marine, no Legionary. This is where the Ravens have come to roost. Do we see, Giacomo, any Horde getting out of here? Or is it just the Warp Covens coming out to roost?
I think Inquisitorial Agents can do it.
Chris Baki has to make it, right? He's the Bay Area Tournament Squad. He sponsored part of our stream. He's making it out. Good job, Chris.
And then Warp Coven for sure. Warp Coven for sure.
Yeah, and then what? Jason? Who's the Warp Coven? We have Jason. We have Pablo.
Alexander,
Arthur, and Aiden.
Oh, that's tough.
I mean, Jason's been.
I can't say no to my boy Jason, but we can't.
We are not biased whatsoever.
We don't get to make the decision.
I don't know the rest of you. I know a lot of them. I don't know the rest of them. I'm going with my 2 homies.
We got to go with the boys.
We got to go with the boys for the boys and girls. If you could drop us a like and a subscribe or a 5-star comment if you are watching on or listening to us on podcasts. So pod 8 this is pod 6, very strong, 8 players in the top 200. We're going to move on to pod 7. Pod 7. Oh, Alexa, what are you doing? You're not even under 200, my guy. You won Worlds last year.
He doesn't need to be under 200.
You're not wrong. I'm going to count Alexa as under 200. Okay. Is that fair?
Sure.
Can I count the world champion?
Yeah, I think, right? It's like getting Adrian Bonavento bias.
Yeah, Discord, if you disagree that I should not Discord, YouTube, if you disagree, or if you're listening on our podcast, you could go to our Discord and tell us if it wasn't wrong for me, because I'm counting him. It's already happening. I mean, I could call somebody. I don't have Alexa's number because that'd probably be like.
It'd also be, I don't know what time over there.
He's 8 hours behind a day ahead. So it would be noon on
Monday.
Is today Sunday?
Sunday, just kidding.
Okay. There we go. So we have Alexander. So we have Alexa. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people under 200. And so we have Inquisition, we have Legionary, we have Inquisition, we have Corsairs, we have Warp Coven, Brood Brothers, Phobos Strike Team, Corsairs, Blooded, and Warp Coven. Wow. That seems to be a really all over the place. A lot of fast teams in this.
This is a fast pod.
So I wonder if this Eric Isaacs is the guy who won with Brood Brothers in Florida. Florida just had an event where a Brood Brothers player won the golden ticket. Beat all the Florida guys.
Could be.
Yeah. So apparently he's pretty good.
That makes sense. He's bringing Brood Brothers.
Jason Fay is in this group. Jason Fay is from Just Another Kill Team podcast. Jack Tap is what I like to call him.
Yep.
Great guy, really friendly. He won a big prize at LVO once, I always love seeing Jason. We have the Rat Man. I've heard so much about Rat Man.
Just the Rat Man.
I can't wait.
And I always love his thing. It's just a rat.
Yeah. He commented on our last video, Rat Man, I can't wait to meet you, shake your hand, say what's up. I don't know any Argentinian.
Yeah, I don't know any Argentinian either. I might know one.
They probably speak something else. I don't know if Argentinian is a language. If we don't share a language in common, we will high five and hug. If he, but I assume that he speaks English because he commented in English.
I think Portuguese is Brazil. So I think everyone else is Spanish.
Okay. Yeah, Spanish. Okay.
I think so.
I don't want to assume. Yeah.
I think I could be getting it wrong.
Voyan Jarek is a really cool name.
That sounds very like Norse.
He's from Canada.
It just feels that way, but it's probably not in those roots.
Yeah. We have Brett Bouchard. I called him the other night. Brett is a great friend. He's playing Corsairs. Corsairs have a lot of play in this edition, right?
I think so too.
They're pretty decent in the Legionary, right? I don't know if they beat War Coven. I have no idea. Dan Barton is also an amazing kill team player. Dan Barton, I think, was number 2 in ITC last year. So we should probably put Dan on that list too.
An honorary under 200.
Yeah. Brett actually beat me at Dallas. He was playing Hearthkin Salvagers.
So he knows his mid range.
Yeah, he does. He does. But then I beat him at KTO before, so his was vengeance.
Sorry, Brett.
Maybe we'll meet up again and we'll have like a tiebreaker round. You know,
that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
And Corsairs will butcher me. Butcher. So we have a lot of good players in this pod. Who's getting out of this pod, G?
I
don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Okay, I think Inquisitorial Agents come out of here.
Okay.
And I think Corsairs do. No.
I'm voting for Ratman. Ratman's going to make it out of groups this year.
You want blood? Okay.
With Blooded, he's going to make it out. Even if it's not true, he'll make it out in my heart.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I think Corsairs and Agents
have
a chance.
I'm going to go with the Ratman, and I'm going to go with Alexa.
Okay.
Yeah. It's hard to count the world champ out.
Yeah, you're going with directs. I'm going with the teams.
Yeah, no idea. I have no idea.
Oh, and we're on our last
pod.
Are we going to phone a friend today?
Yeah. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 people in this pod under 200. Remy's a very good player from France. He's come to LVO multiple times. Really friendly guy. A really good player as well. Performs quite well at LVO. We have Ryan Slater, also went to LVO last year.
Yes, that's right.
Ryan is the command,
the Turning
Point Tactics. And then we have Jimmy Kelly in this pod.
JK.
Yeah, very good. One
of the best
is he the only Legionary in this pod? Let's call Jimmy. Let's see if
Let's call Jimmy. We do have one more. We do have one more Legionary right there.
Do we?
Alejandro at the very top from Spain.
You're right, Alejandro. That is the guy who's played 20 games this
he's grinding.
He is grinding.
All my life. Been grinding all my life. That's all.
And he won a
good prize.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's see if Jimmy answers.
Let's see if we can get the JK on here.
Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Jimmy, you're live recording on our podcast. I wanted to ask you a question about your group.
My group?
Yes. Yes, we're talking about the WCW.
So you felt like calling the Canadian?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why they gave you a Canadian tag. Oh, but they corrected it on the pods thing, like the graphic we're looking at.
You're
but
back
yes.
to US.
Well,
okay. Well, I'm excited to talk about my group. I'm going to talk so much trash.
That's fair. That's
Keep it
fair.
PG.
You just tell me who's in there, and I'll talk trash about it.
Okay. Well,
Jimmy Kelly's in there.
My question is, Jimmy. Who is going to make it out of groups with you, Jimmy? Which guy? We have Alejandro Netro. What do you want their names or do you want their factions?
Well, I'm going to pull up the thing right
Oh,
now.
okay, even better.
That's fair.
He's going to follow along and he's going to figure it out.
Yeah, so let's just say Jimmy's going to make it out of his group, right? Because I'd be a rude friend
to not support the homie.
Not to support the homie.
What? No, just watch. I'm going to lose to freaking Mandrakes.
That's fair.
Or Farstalker. There's what's his name? Ernesto is from Italy. He's going to come and bring like the Italian crew, and they're just going to stomp. Something fun's going to happen. All right, so my best guess is I'm going to say it's going to be me and Ryan.
You and Ryan Slater. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, big. I'm taking a big risk here, right?
That's
I'm
fair.
Really going for the dark horse picks here.
That's fair. Now, Jimmy, I have another question.
Okay.
Have you finished your Legionary yet?
Great question. I plead the fifth.
Okay.
I love it.
See, meanwhile, everyone's like, hey, Dakota, why are you bringing Vetguard? Why are you doing this? I'll be like, because they're done. Meanwhile, Jimmy's over here struggling on the struggle train,
Well, here's the deal. I have free child labor. So right now, I'm getting a game. Currently, right now, I'm playing with Jason.
Okay.
I'm doing a practice game.
Jason is using his British accent and pretending to be Ryan.
Okay.
I like that.
So he's running the Inquisition.
Oh.
And he keeps eating fish and chips. And I'm like, you don't need to get that into character, Jason.
That's fair.
There he is.
That's fair.
Chips.
Yeah, good. He just said good day and spot a dick.
That's
so
fair.
he's over here like being Ryan, giving him a practice game. And
That's fair.
Josh is in the other room painting the models I'm going to bring maybe. My models. Well, he's also bringing Legionary. But he might get grounded if he's very naughty, and then he won't be able to play. And like, it would be really sad if Jess doesn't get to play at Worlds. But I mean, if he's bad, then I'll just take his models and I'll play.
That's fair. We already
really
said
think about that bad thing he's going to do.
Did we say Jesh was going to get out
I
of
said
groups?
Jesh was going to get out.
I don't remember what I said. Jesh can beat me later if I don't say that he did.
I think I said he.
Let's go. Can you pass the phone to Jason?
To Jason.
Yeah, I want to get.
Okay, you remember keeping character, Jason.
He's British.
Oh yeah, let's pass it to Ryan Slater.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not to insult this guy. I don't even know.
Wait, I thought you were British.
You're invisible. They'll never see you again.
That's fair. Which pod are you in? Are you in group 6?
I'm in group 6.
There you
Okay,
are.
Jason. All right, Jason. We've already determined who's making it out of group 6, right? We called it on the podcast. Everything we say always comes true.
I'm fucked.
Jason, what 2 players are making it out of your group?
You can include yourself.
The Breachers player. 100% the Breachers player.
Okay, so Alejandro Soprano, the Navy Breacher player, and who
Nice.
else?
Yeah. I love that pick, by the way. And then I'm going to pick myself because I'm an asshole.
Nice.
Fair.
Even though I think I'm going to lose round 1 to the Breacher player, I'm going to pick myself.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we used our phone friend.
Phone
Thank
a
you.
hoe, what?
What was your pick to win Group 6?
We said Chris.
You're a good friend right now.
We said Chris Baki and Jason Steinke because
Gotta go with the boys.
we got to go with the homies. Yeah. See?
I don't know if Baki can beat Breachers, though. That's the thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm joking. Yeah. That's
Oh, okay. I was like, for a second, I was going to take your word seriously.
Yeah. We'll have to see. Maybe Alejandro knows some spicy tech and wins
That's
pod.
what I'm terrified of, man. I'm going to go in this guy and he's just going to smoke me. Like, that's what's going to happen.
And
I know it already.
That's right.
It's going to be
gonna be
Commandos
great.
watch.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you. Let you guys get back to your game. Thanks for answering.
Have a good night.
Peace, guys.
Peace.
There we
All
go.
right. So now we know. We know who's getting out of groups. We have determined it. Whew. We have discussed it. And we are very wrong because we don't know 50% of the players. We know like 15% of the players coming.
I mean, realistically, we do 3 because we can only call 3.
I mean, I have a lot more people's numbers.
That's true.
Like I could call.
You could call.
Cortez right now.
You could.
I could call.
We did. You could call Baki.
Drew Powell's really good too, though.
He's playing agents.
I told Jimmy, I was like, "Yo, my guy, do not sleep on Drew. Drew's really, really good in this pod here."
Agents are strong regardless.
So Kristen Holton, she's really good. She's from Australia.
Nice. Playing Warp Coven. Classic.
Mm-hmm. See here, Benjamin McMillan. Do I know Benjamin? I don't think I know Benjamin.
You know Mandrake.
I know Mandrakes, but I don't know Benjamin. Michael Brook. I don't know Michael. Raphael Remel. From
Hey, Nemesis Claw. Hell yeah.
Oh,
From Uruguay.
is there a Void Dancer player in here? There is not. Void Dancers have a relatively rough time with Nemesis Claw. Is he the only Nemesis Claw in the entire event?
He's the only Claw. He wanted to be different.
Wow, that's impressive.
And then Remy's the only Tempest Aquilon.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what the Tempest is.
I want to see the tech because I feel like there's some cool moves that I'm just not good enough to figure out.
Probably.
And I want to see what he's going to do, how he's going to take it and get out of pot 8.
Yeah, because watch, it's going to be like
all the underdogs.
It's going to be like Remy, and it's going to be like who else is in that group?
Drew.
Well, that's Inquisition. We have to go with that underdog. So Jimmy doesn't get out. It's going to be Remy from France
or Benjamin,
and then Benjamin with Mandrakes.
Hell yeah!
No Legionary players make it out of groups, and we just look like we were. What are the fire? The smoke. What is smoke signals? We're sending fake smoke signals.
Oh yeah.
We're all actually wrong.
Yep.
Much like we all thought like, what Mike Tyson was going to go out and knock out Logan Paul, and it turns out that Mike Tyson's he's 60.
I mean, that makes sense. He's old. You can't expect him to fight forever.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be an interesting one for Worlds. I look forward to it. I do ultimately feel in my heart an elite player is going to win this.
Okay.
But I want it so bad to be a mid-range.
It definitely could be Inquisition, though.
That's why I want it to be a mid-range, because it's not a horde and it's not an elite.
I don't know why they put Inquisition as mid-range. Did they really do that?
No, they put them as hordes.
Okay. Yeah, because they're a horde.
Exactly, because they're a horde. They're absolutely a horde.
So you want, like, Corsairs? I mean, it would be
Dude, it'd be sick if Corsairs won.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
Yo, Blades of Cain came out of nowhere. Like, Robert was like, yeah, I just have all the guns ever.
See, now the thing is Robert Nichols, he has all of the Dire Avenger people. But I could call him right now. Let's call it.
Let's get a celebrity call.
Let's see if he answers.
That's true. He could be busy. He might be busy.
I like how people just answer the phone for me, and then when they don't,
you really can just get around by calling people.
Yeah, let's see if he answers. We'll have to see. And see if he's bringing just mono Dire Avengers.
Because he's a baller. He may be busy.
He could be busy. Not everyone answers the phone for me. Just some people.
Jimmy Kelly.
I'm using like 4 phone of friends this podcast,
Yeah, you ran out after the first one.
I did.
Well,
I failed the first one.
Yeah, you did fail the first one.
Yeah. He didn't answer.
No, he's not available.
I'll text him though.
This is
you bringing mono Dire Avengers?
Question mark.
What's the sauce? Question mark. There we go. We'll see.
We'll see if he gets back to us in time.
Yeah.
But it's Worlds for the most part.
Yeah. Is there anything that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to streaming and casting the whole event. I'd like the game that I could just sit and stare at a less moving screen for a long time, because I just look at it and go like, what would I do?
For 12 hours at a time?
Yeah, I get a bathroom break every now and then. Like I can look at it and go like, oh, I would do this. And then they go, oh, he did that. Yeah, we're thinking the same way. Or he does something else. Like, I wouldn't do that. And the guy dies like, so yeah, that's why I wouldn't do that. Because those odds are not in my favor.
So when you guys are going to be casting, can you explain how you're casting? Because we got some people on social media saying like, we really hope they don't cast over the top of players, or, we hope they know what they're talking about, stuff like that. What is your thought process as you are streaming and wanting to cast? How do you want to accomplish that goal? And what do you think is the best for viewership?
So generally, I think the most important part are the players. The caster's job is just to keep the flow of communication going on. So if there's a moment where there's a bit of a lull because a player is thinking about something, you can then tell the audience, this was the last move they did, this is something I think they could do, and these are abilities they have to play off of and what they might be thinking of doing, right? Giving them options that the player might not be saying because, of course, they're thinking about it. And, trying not to interrupt the player when they're saying what their move is, right? Because I think that's really important, is to focus on the player themselves. But again, our job is to make sure that the flow is always happening. So there's never really slow moments if we can help it.
Okay.
Yes, and of course, answering the Twitch feed in case they have a question of something previous while I was paying attention to the game to try to answer their questions.
Mm-hmm. And we do have extra rules that we are under because we're at a Games Workshop event.
Yes.
So we won't be able to do as much as we do in the studio
normally,
or on our own streams because we don't have as much control, right?
Yes.
That is not our event. We are there
simply for streaming, and they make the judge calls. They give the rules. We are simply a medium for you to watch it and view it.
Correct. And we're there to answer your guys' questions, stuff like that. So, you're meant, with your casting philosophy is that you're going to be there when it's slow from the players, when they're sitting there thinking, you're going to talk about it. Now, we do have 2 monitors. Are you going to be pulling up rules and stuff if able?
Personally, yeah. I'll have my own rules for the 2 teams so that I could see it, but I can't make any calls.
But I'm saying, are you thinking about pulling them up and showing them to the Twitch chat as well, just like we do for battle reports?
Every now and then, if it makes sense and I have a moment to do so, like let's say in between rounds while they're calculating scores, I can absolutely bring something up that's going to affect them or something they might do. if it arises, that would be the time to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you? I showed you some of the new stuff for the stream.
I do love a lot of the new tool sets we have. I think it enhances the experience in a new way that I'm really looking forward to introducing at the WCW.
Yeah, still going to take some work to get it to where I want it to be, and hopefully it goes off without a hitch. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're adding a couple different screens and stuff, and we'd love to get your guys' feedback on Twitch or in our Discord or on YouTube later on. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. For me, I think I'm mostly looking forward to meeting a lot of people. I'm really looking forward to turning this into much more of a business trip than I am competing, right? Like competing is fun. I'm going to do my best. Absolutely. I'm never not going to do my best. I am also very much looking forward to networking with other people from, across oceans, like what if some dude from Chile is amazing?
Right.
Or from like Peru or something. And like, we want to get him on the podcast,
There you go.
Or if we can, possibly record a podcast with a bunch of people that are there and just asking them questions.
Big chance to do it.
And then bringing it to you guys. Is there anything that you would like to see from us at Worlds coverage, extra coverage, let's say an extra video
Some
or
behind
two?
the scenes stuff.
Behind the scenes stuff?
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, what would you guys like to see from Worlds? I know that Sai is also going to have on Tabletop Mayhem, she's going to post more videos about stuff at Worlds and different things. So make sure you go follow her channel. And that's Tabletop Mayhem. She's host of Hobby Highlander and also a commentator for Kill Team.
Yep, she'll be right with me.
So it's going to be fun. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing if Games Workshop answers some of our questions. And if we get any sort of a balance or FAQ or anything before Worlds, that's going to be hopefully something that would happen.
That would be wild. But I think it's going to happen after.
Yeah, it'd have to happen after. We're already too close.
We're already too close. We're literally, at the time of this recording, 4 days away.
Yeah.
So,
and we take a red eye on Tuesday and we get there on Wednesday.
Wow, we're leaving in 3 days.
Yeah. And then we're going to arrive at 6 a.m., 3 a.m. their time. 6 a.m. their time, 3 a.m. our time. We're going to have to get up. We're going to have to go and set up. And then there's like a dinner and then there's registration.
We're hitting the ground running as soon as we get off that plane.
Yeah.
And again, we do it all for you guys because we like bringing this content to you and ourselves. It's fun to do.
Yeah,
it's fun to do. And we want you to see this. We want the coverage to be out there. They didn't really have it last year.
And it was really difficult to follow what was happening.
Right. So now they're stepping up their game. I think Games Workshop understands that people do want to tune into these games. Mm-hmm. Kill Team, 40K, Warcry, whatever it is. They want people to tune in, so they know that they need the help of creators like ourselves.
Mm-hmm. For me, I was rather critical last year when they didn't have a English broadcast. They just had the Spanish broadcast, and they were broadcasting the final game, and I could just go in and check. But I personally don't speak Spanish. So, right. and there was like 4 people commentating. So it was really difficult to understand what was going on, because they also didn't mic the players. It was just all commentators just talking. And I was like, well, I don't know what's going on.
Right.
So hopefully we don't have that experience for you guys. Hopefully we bring something that's similar to our battle reports, or our tournament reports. Hopefully I can get SoCal Open up and on YouTube so you guys can kind of see what our tournament reports are going to be like.
Yes.
And if you guys want to see the end of SoCal Open, you will have to tune into Patreon, and then eventually it'll come to YouTube. But for right now, it's locked to Patreon. A lot of Patreon members really help us out. I actually called Patreon some members today before the podcast, and I was like, hey, is there anything that you guys want to see?
And they did respond to us. They gave us a couple things. So we're answering some of your questions right now and some of the things that you were curious about. So shout out to the Patreon members.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Robert never got back to me.
It's okay. He's busy. It's Saturday night.
Yeah, he could bring Mono Die Avengers. He could bring the normal Blades of Cain team. Who knows? I guess we'll have to see.
We'll have to see. Do you have any shout outs before we go? I
want to shout out Bay Area Tournament Squad. They helped us they're helping us get to Worlds this year, which is huge, right?
Big.
Yeah, it's difficult to find sponsors, like especially for like anything that's related to Twitch or anything like that. You know, they're helping us out in a big way. So I'm very excited to have them as sponsors, and very excited about that. Shout out to Games Workshop for letting us do this. You know, I'm very, very happy and proud to be able to make content and be the ones that they chose in order to go to Worlds and do it. That shows a lot of trust in us.
Yes.
And I don't want to drop the ball, right? I really want to do our best and put our best foot forward for the community in itself. So shout out to Bats, shout out to Games Workshop for making this wonderful game that we all play.
Yes.
And we have total faith in, no matter if the game feels broken or not, I have total faith that no matter what, they always right the ship, even if you're not having a great time in it. So, G, how about you, brother?
Of course, you can join the conversation either in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube, or by joining our Discord. There you can ask all sorts of things, whether you're looking for hobby advice, kill team advice on tactics, or just you want to share some stuff that you like to do in the hobby space. Thank you to our patrons for helping us support us. Just like we mentioned a little bit before, you know, we do these for the audience, but also for you guys, because you help us out in a really, really personable way. And we really appreciate that. You know, feel free to check out the battle reports if you're looking for more kill team things. In the meantime, we'll have a few more episodes up relatively soon, so we'll get that for you. And of course, there's the special stuff that's on for patron members. So if you're already a patron member, you can check that out now. And we look forward to seeing you at Worlds, at the World Championships of Warhammer.
We do. We look forward to, trying to make the best content that we can.
Absolutely.
Until next time, everyone. Thanks for watching.
The Squad Games podcast is a production of Squad Games Entertainment. For more information on Squad Games, please visit our website at lestersworkshop.com/squad-games.